that. And especially in even like a small group like that, it's great because then you get into all the individualized coaching. Like you give them the main theme, and then you can start like giving each person their own little nugget. And like that's whenever you can walk away from those, that's like a pretty big thing. Because like a lot of times we don't think about it, but it's like one little piece of advice can win you hundreds, if not thousands, of more points, like within a single season. So like that little idea of just being able to see the blocker, see the defender, whatever it is, even if it was something simpler with just being on time with your attack or something like that. That one little fix can win you so many more points, which I think a lot of times we forget about that.
Yeah, right. Isn't it? I'm looking at because I'm a fan of a couple of Instagram accounts right now that are doing like good things with jump programs, like Project Pure Athlete. I want to check out Sam Pedlow's platform and Dustin Watton's his courses, but I'm like, you know what? These guys have worked decades to be able to master. They found their own path. They have seen things that you and I haven't seen. They ended up at the same level, but they've ended up at levels beyond us. But along that way, because they've had different teachers, different coaches, they get to see different things. They get to hear different things. And so when I look at this jump program by Project Pure Athlete, which focuses a lot on jump technique. There's a lot that I know biomechanically about jump technique that I like to teach and bring to players. But I know that if I spend $100 on this course, I get that knowledge for the rest of my life. Like the rest of my life. And if you measure just times per use when you're thinking about a small course like that, it's like, why wouldn't you? If it's up your alley, if it's something that you want to learn and is going to benefit you and the people around you in the long run, $100 is absolutely nothing compared to the amount of times you're going to use that knowledge instead of just kind of continuing and putting your own information on repeat. I used to meet these coaches when I was like a cocky young coach, like 24, 25, they were like, yeah, I've been coaching for 30 years. I know this. How do you come in and say all this is different? Just because you've been doing something for 30 years does not mean you've been doing it at a high level for 30 years, right? It means that you've been doing it and no one has taken your place.
Right. And most of the time, if you're doing the same thing for 30 years, you've fallen behind the times, and like when we're thinking about beach volleyball, like the game has changed so much in the last 5 years, but we still have coaches that are coaching the way that they were taught how to coach, or the way that they were taught how to play. And like a lot of times I'll even have people ask me like, so you're obviously, you coach, you're a good coach. Do you still get coached by other people? And my answer is always 100%. Like I am always looking to find a good coach to take me in, like I want someone to still coach me because that's the time where I might have someone say something to me that I haven't heard it said that way before, or I might hear an idea that I haven't really thought about too much. So like, it's always kind of funny. Like if I'm coaching someone in Hermosa and they're like, hey, I think I'm going to go to a session with this person next week. And they like think that I'm going to be like a little offended. And I'm like, no, hey, go get coached by as many people as you possibly can. As long as you're learning, that's the best part. Yeah. Because I mean, that's what we're doing too, so it's hard to kind of say, hey, only come to us. But
there's like a couple of things in there. I don't think that you should bounce around to coaches like each practice. I think you have to see a coach's plan out.
Consistency.
Stick with them and know where you're headed. Mm-hmm. Follow the plan for long enough to actually grab onto something and then see if that plan goes. Because, I mean, some coaches can provide things in one session, but there's so much value in hanging around that because you only get to say so much in 2 hours. And a good coach knows, I'm not going to put my entire library of knowledge into you in these 2 hours. I'm going to give you the one thing that you need the most right now.